I'm Clifton Thomas Culp. I'm Wanda's oldest son, and it all started on Flag Day, 1952 in Chicago, Illinois, when she had me. We used to do a lot of traveling, and Mom would always say that in 6 weeks I'd been to 6 different states. Then they would have to stop the car on the side of the road and drain the radiator into a pan to put my bottle to heat it up. Then they'd pour the water back in the radiator and continue on. We did a lot of traveling. Then we came to Oklahoma City, moved 704 Northwest 18th. Everybody knows that address. One time we were in church and I was real small, and it was a Pentecostal church, and they get a little loud. And so when I heard them all ranting and raving and carrying on, I stood up in pews and started saying, "Play ball, play ball," because that's all I knew when there's a crowd, play ball. Well, my mother's taught me a lot throughout my life, but she was our Cub Scout leader and the den mother, and she taught us a lot about the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, and how to do a lot of things. Hard work and determination, we made it. Well, I have lots of fond memories of my mother, but one that stands out that I used to race cars back in high school, and she was my favorite cheerleader. And I was racing on a dirt track in Enid, and the gas pedal stuck to the floor, and I rolled the car on lane 3. Mom was up in the stands, and I worried more about her than anything else. We used to go on a lot of family vacation road trips, and one time we went to Acapulco, loaded everybody up, got in the car and headed south, and she couldn't believe we made it all the way there and back, but we did. We had a great time. My mother's always been a God-fearing woman, and always kept the family in church and religious, and see that still in her today. Seemed like my mom's always played the piano and the organ, and you know, bless her heart, she tried to get me to learn how, and so I went piano lessons and piano lessons after piano lessons. Finally went and played a recital at the state capitol, and that was about my last time to do it. But she can still play today. Well, in my younger years, I was a little bit wild and crazy until I had kids, and then my kids made me realize that you need to slow down and enjoy life and enjoy family. And so anytime there's hard times, you just think about the good things in your life and the positives. I could always rely on my mother. She was always there no matter what, even to pick you up and dust you off and let you go again, but she was always there for us. really love my mother and very thankful for everything she did for us. Advice for future generations. What I would say is good morals, good beliefs, and hard work, determination, and save your money, and always keep family and friends close.
Hi, I am my mom's second living child. My birthday is April 13th, 1954, and I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I'm grateful for my mother for many things. She taught me the love of music, and she taught me about God and going to church that I've carried on throughout my life today. But the love of music, my mother used to play the piano in our formal dining room, and she would sing, and I would sit on the piano bench with her and just would love listening to her, and it just carried over to me, and I'm very, very, very thankful for it today. I was the only girl. I always looked at my mom as when I was growing up that she was like an angel. I mean, she took care of everything. She took care of all of us kids. She took care of the business. She took care of the house. And she was just always so helpful in helping people. But I just always looked at her as an angel, just as I do today, because she was just very, very special human being that I was glad that I got to be her child, because she was just an angel. It's worse now than then, pushing and shoving. I have many fond memories of my mother when I was a child, and one of them that I remember and it sticks in my head is we used to take girl trips, and I remember us going to Fountainhead Lodge together, a group of people in the hotel, and they were having a modeling show, and they picked me to model some of their clothes, and my mom was so excited. And anyway, that was a real fond memory of our special times together. I remember those special times, and you have just been a wonderful mother. You were a sewer, and if anybody needed a hem sewed up or needed anything made, we would give you the pattern and you could sew. And I remember the red, white, and blue dresses you made for me and you. We were matching. And then the boys, you made the red, white, and blue shirts. That's when we were doing that campaign. And I remember those. And they turned out really cute. They were sundresses, and you and I were just Twinkies. I have a funny memory, and it wasn't so funny at the time, but now it's funny. But I remember that my best friend, Judy, and I, we wanted to wear these real short dresses to school. And so we went and we bought real short dresses, and they were pink. Well, when we left home to go get on the bus, we had our regular clothes on. Well, when we got to school, we changed into those dresses. Well, the principal calls you a couple hours later and says, you need to come get her. She's got this dress on that's way too short. And you were so mad that you came and got me, and you got both of those dresses, and you put them in the fireplace and you burnt them. At the time it wasn't funny, but it's funny now. Sent to me from the throne, a song of love and grace. If anybody knows about, I could always rely on my mom from as long as I can remember, even when I was, you know, a young mother and raising two girls. And, you know, if I needed money, she was always there. If I needed a place to stay, she was always there. And I knew that I could always go home, and I did one time, but she always was there. And then as I grew up to get older, she's still always been there. And even today, she's so reliable that every time I call her, you know, she just answers the phone. And I appreciate that, and I call her every single day. I don't call her, she'll call me. But I love that about my mom, that she's so reliable to help in any way that she can. I remember the boys always had to work outside, and I got to work. I didn't have to work outside in the yard. I got to work inside with you. I'm only human. I'm just a woman. Help me believe in what I could be and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Help me today to do everything that I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Help me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? Well, Jesus, you know, as you're looking below, it's worse now than then. Pushing and shoving, crowding my mind. So for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Help me today to do everything that I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Help me today, show me the way. And Mom, I want you to know that I love you with all of my heart, and I know that you know that, and I would do anything for you.
My name is Michael Anthony Culp. I am my mother's third living child. Was born on December 11th, 1956 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I had many fond memories of my mother growing up. She would be playing the piano in the morning sometimes, or singing, just singing away in the other room. Always put us kind of a little bit more at peace, no matter what we were all kind of going through, and it's just a fond memory. I'm very grateful to my mother for teaching me a lot of good morals of life, how to be nice and kind and caring and loving, and all those things that were very important for her to teach us as children. And I'm very proud that I was able to learn those lessons, even though it may have took a while. My mother was a very talented woman, singing, playing piano, and I can remember times of my aunts and other people over there and have like a band going in the other room with the accordion and the piano and the guitar and everything else. But, and then also, she was very talented with writing. She has very beautiful handwriting, and she could always express herself in that way, and always sort of pushed us to do good at writing. And she was just a multi-talented human being. I could always rely on my mother for those kind of things, especially when it come to any physical needs or mental upset situations. She was always there to rescue, and anytime there was something of that kind of nature, she was always there. If you got a little scratch, she'd be Band-Aid on it in a second, and if you needed a little something or whatever, hungry or anything like that, she always was a very nurturing person. Kind-hearted and understanding and open-minded about a lot of things. My mother was always very kind, and I'll always be indebted and appreciative. And I always know really there's no other way to really show any of that other than maybe try to purport that out to other human beings the rest of my life. And she's taught us many lessons that are deeply ingrained, and something money can't buy.
frustration, I need you. I'm Philip Mark Culp, born at St. Anthony Hospital, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm the fourth living child. I have many fond memories of my mom and I growing up, but one that really sticks out in my mind, we went to the movie theater and we bought a Butterfinger, and boy, and it got good to us, you know, and so she gave me money and I went up and got a couple, two more, and boy, and we gobbled those down, and I wouldn't tell her this, but I think she wanted me to go get another one, so I kind of hinted, and next thing I know, we ate 3 or 4 more, but we had our wrappers all around us when we left the movie theater. But today we still laugh about the Butterfingers. My mother taught me many things growing up, but one that really just sticks out into me, it's something she taught me, is how to love Jesus Christ, you know, as our Lord and Savior. Even when we was on her little kids, I mean, she'd grab us by the ears and put an elbow in our sides to make us sit up straight in church. But we sit up straight in church, and I'm thankful for that. My memory of my mom's talent, one of her many talents, was playing the piano and singing. I can remember walking in from school or something, I could hear the big grand piano playing, and she'd be in there singing. She had such a good voice, I mean, and she could play the piano, and she was just very talented in that area. My mom, she's been there for me throughout my life. From a Band-Aid, taking Band-Aids on me when I skint my knees, all the way up to the day I'm here today, where when I have any kind of problems, I can call my mom and go see her, and she can help me figure it out. And I'm telling you, if she can't figure it out, there's no fixing it. Mother's Day moments. I remember growing up as we went to church, all of us had to wear red roses because that meant your mother was alive. And if you wore a white rose, your mother had passed. And Mom always wore a white rose, and we wore red roses. And I remember that. A funny memory I have with my mom is when she got on the back of this motorcycle here sitting behind me, and we took a ride around the block on it. And anyway, it was just a funny memory for me. I love you, Mom, and I thank you for you being there throughout my whole life.
Well, I'm Fred Joe Culp. I'm the youngest son of my mother, Wanda. I was born on December 27th, 1963. I was born in St. Anthony Hospital. Being I was the youngest child, I couldn't wait to get out, and my mother had me, and I fell and dropped on my head on the lobby of the hospital floor before they could get her up to maternity. One thing I admire about my mother is, like, every morning she'd always be reading the Bible or doing some kind of devotional, and and playing the piano. I always enjoyed listening to her play the piano and things like that. And then the other thing is, she's always get up and go, get up and do something. I remember she used to tell a story about Albert, her brother, or I think he was the one laying around, and her mother went and took a broom and beat him to get out of the house. But my mother always making lists of what needs to be done, what do we do to solve the problem, and things like that. Just something I really admire about her. Well, I've got several fond memories, but I've got to pick one, and one that sticks out of my mind is that I was at school, and you sell candy bars, and they had the little Pizza Hut coupon on the back and stuff, and they'd come out with caramel inside, where the caramel was runny, and you'd milk chocolate on the outside. And actually, I become one of the top salesmen because me and my mom ate the whole box when they first come out, and I kept getting more boxes. I don't know how much we spent, but she spent quite a bit. We ate a lot of caramel and chocolate. Yeah, my mother's got a lot of talents, and just to figure out one of them. I know with her music, of course, listening to the piano was good, but she always played the accordion. She had this big accordion she'd play and things like that. But the other thing, she's good at office work. I mean, like getting things done, getting on the computer. I mean, to this day, even at her age, she'll get on the computer and be learning something, and that I can't even grasp hardly. But that's the two things that stand out to me. Always rely on my mom in different situations, that she would be there, and I could call her and she would give me some form of solution or which direction to go when I was often confused. Yeah, my mom probably taught me a lot of things, and but one thing she taught me, no matter where you are in life, just get up and go. Just keep going and keep going no matter what. And, she always, a lot of times had a saying, keep the wind to your back, just keep. Mom, I love you, and I'm so happy to have you as a mother. I mean, I couldn't have really ever chose. If I was going to choose a mother, you would be it. I really wouldn't have another mother I'd want to choose. And you've always been there and always had an ear and always gave me solutions in which direction to go, and I appreciate everything you've done.
From being in the city, when they came home, one day we had a 1959 Cadillac sitting out in the front. And next thing we knew, they'd been traded off for a motel.
One of the vacations that we took that's real memorable is when we went to Acapulco. And I remember, I think it took us like 2 or 3 days to get there. And we went to the bullfights. We were way up in the stands. You had all the money, everything in your purse. Well, when the bullfights were over and the matador was walking around way down there on the ground, Dad got your purse and threw it to him. And anyway, the matador ended up throwing it back to Dad, but I remember the look on your face, because everything that we needed was in that purse, and why he did that, I don't know. But that was a very fun vacation.
It's a funny memory, I guess, at this point. But, I was younger and I hid on the boat. My dad had rented a houseboat and we were out on the lake, and I hid, and they thought I was drowned, and they were all jumping off in the water looking for me. And, of course, I had hid, and I come out, and my dad wanted to beat me to death, and my mom wouldn't let him.
Something my mother has always said to me is KBMS, keep big mouth shut.
I will always be grateful, probably till the day I'm dead,
My mother's always been an angel in my eyes, sent from heaven. Something I admire about my mother is her being a strong woman, and she don't take crap off nobody.
One of the things I always remember my mom saying is, like, when we'd be fighting or arguing, she'd say, "I'm gonna knock you from here to kingdom come if you don't stop."
My mom basically taught me how to persevere and how to stick to things. And she'd always tell me to say, don't say what you're going to do, just do it.
From what I can remember all my life is my mother, her personality has always been kind to people and giving. And even if it took away from herself. And I admire that about her, that she handed it down to me. I could never match up to, as good as she is, but she was just always giving and taken away from herself. And she's been through a whole lot, and she's remained faithful. And I think that is a great personality trait.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Help me today to do everything that I had to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Help me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Do you remember when you walked among men? Well, Jesus, you know,
I think it's my turn to help you in any way that I can. I know you don't like asking for help, but you know that I'm always there.
pushing and shoving to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow so